We're on episode 2 of Reasonable Doubt, and it's my birthday. Okay, it's my birthday, so make sure y'all show me some love in the chat. One time for the birthday, one time for the birthday. It's my birthday, so make sure y'all show me some love in this video. Now we see Lewis go over there to Walmart to do his shift. Okay, and I predicted some things in my last recap, and I was right. Okay, we see him go over there, and the one thing about him going over there and Jack staying at home. We see the daughter once again. What y'all gonna do with her? Okay. We see her pop in, pop out. I want to know, what is her purpose? I guess you guys got to make sense. She got one kid, since we're not going to see much of her son. I guess he's going to be what they call it, a part-time cast member this season. I get it, budget cuts, and we try and keep the show going. I get it, okay? But please do something with her. I hope that what I predicted in the last video about her being the one who's going to have some issues in the household is going to come true, only because I want to see her character develop and evolve. I don't want to see her just, say these little comments to her mama. I don't want to see her dismissed. That's what it is. I feel like instead of Jax being so consumed with what her man is doing over there with Tony, I think that she could spend some time with her daughter. The daughter to me is a throwaway character who's often dismissed. And I'm sure that can lead to some things further in the season that we're going to see with her, hopefully developing her character. But I want to see more from her. I don't want to see her continue to be dismissed. Her mom have an attitude with her. Just go back in your room. These little comments she making, do more with her, okay? Please do more. But I think that, Jackson spent some time with her. Let's see her bonding with her daughter. Let's see her pouring as much energy into her husband, into her cases, into her daughter. This is a pivotal time where a daughter needs their mother. Are they going to get caught up in the wrong things, people, places? And then you're hit with the mom guilt of, I should have saw it, I could have been there, but I digress. All right. Now I want to talk a little bit about Lewis and Tony. All right. So we see Lewis go over and do his shift. Grief, y'all. Grief and closure. Do you ever move past losing a child? No. This whole thing was about closure. Okay. Tony needing closure because she lost her son. Now y'all want to call me for, okay, y'all gonna have to wait a little bit. Okay. For me, Tony is a grieving mother. The circumstances of losing her child and conceiving that child, to me at times, is the focal point. But for me, I see a woman who's wounded and hurt. Because of how she got pregnant, her feelings to me are dismissed. Okay. And I think that there's still an open wound. There will always, to me, be an open wound for this woman, even though she's a character. There will also always be an open wound for her. And because she feels like she missed out and she'll never get that back, Lewis is the only connection to Jaden. I believe his name is Jaden. That was going to be his name, Jaden. Lewis is the only connection to Jaden. And if I can't have my baby, I want you. You are the last remaining thing connecting me to the baby that I lost. And we see her have flashbacks, memories of all of it. The relationship with Lewis, losing her baby, and she breaks. She breaks. They're trying, I think both get closure, but it was closure for her, but I think it was also becoming closure for him. And I think because of what he did, the poor decision that he made in sleeping with her and her getting pregnant, he has no room to grieve. He doesn't have any room to grieve or acknowledge that child. Jax will never let that happen. And I'm going to get to that end scene too. Jax will never let that happen because to her, the baby was a mistake, which some people might see that, but it was still a person. It was still a part of her husband. And I think it's something that I wonder if over time will hurt their marriage because there's no space for him to grieve that child. And all those emotions they were both feeling in that room, she wanted to connect physically. Now, do I think it was all about just the pipe down? I don't. I think it was about making love to him, connecting intimately, and just feeling that feeling I had when we were together, which it was an affair. So it's hard to really like you don't deserve that, but I get it at the same time. I love the layers, y'all. Onyx. I love the layers. Okay. Because it's not so black and white that you were a mistress and you lost your baby. There are layers to this that I don't think either one of them will ever get over. And I don't think either one of them will ever really disconnect from each other. I feel like they will always have the connection of we lost a baby together. And only you and me understand the grief of that because the world and everyone around us just sees the affair. Yes, it was an affair, but you and me, we create a human being that we lost. Okay. So I don't know if they'll ever really like they'll always have a connection. The connection will be a child that they lost. And that his inability to have space to grieve, I think is going to ultimately hurt his marriage to Jax because there's no space for him to grieve that he was going to be a father again. Okay, so keep that in your mind because I think that's going to pop back up. Okay. Now we also see Ozzy, okay, showing up at Jack's house. I need you, girl. They got my they coming after me. I need you. And Cash is there too. Okay. Morris Chestnut gonna make his check. Okay. Even if he's not really doing nothing this season, he gonna make that check. Okay. And during this time, as Ozzy is at the house, it's interesting how once again I feel like Jax does not sit with the pain and feeling sometimes of what she needs to sit with. Jax represents a lot of women. People not willing to just like, oh, I'm feeling this. Let me cope. Let me figure out how to regulate my emotions. No, we go to our vices, cigarettes, cash. There's still something there between them. And instead of like, I don't know, just recognizing what I'm feeling, she goes and sits, on the floor while Cash is asleep and sits next to him. And it's just kind of like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are married. You need to learn how to cope with that shit instead of having these daydreams, disassociating, whatever it is, bitch. Hold it, let it go. Let it go. I need you to let that shit go because you're going to cause some problems in your marriage too. They're in a good place, but because of unresolved shit from the outside, that's going to come in between this. It's going to prevent this. Now, in the first episode, I saw a lot of this. But that outside noise, the unresolved trauma that they both have, the unresolved feelings in a marriage, you pour that in. Oh, and then y'all start to go like this. And I see it popping up, percolating, like I say, because y'all have unresolved shit that y'all have not dealt with. And I think that Lewis needs space to cope. I think Jax needs to learn how to cope. And so, since both these people are holding on to different things, it's going to get in the way of the happiness, the bliss that we saw in episode 1. Okay? It's going to get in the way. All right. Now, Ozzy is two different people. You have Ozzy, the child star, the brand, like I say. You have Ozzy, the brand, Ozzy, the person. Okay? We see Ozzy, the person, in the bathroom, then bathroom scenes. You see him over and over again, I think, just break out of who people want and expect him to be. And we see Ozzy, the unhealed little boy, screaming in the mirror, having scratches on his chest. Shit, he went in the bathroom and called his friend, like, hey, they didn't found the body. Okay. Who the fuck is Alex? That's what I want to know. Who is Alex? Hey, Alex, of course you're not answering your phone. They found the body. Okay. Answer the damn phone. So we see him in the bathroom trying, it's like, oh man. And I'm still trying to figure out, was it him? Was it the mama? I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be too easy for it to be Ozzy. I feel like the case is gonna be layered. Okay, there's gonna be layers to this. Like the first two episodes have had so many layers. I don't think it's just gonna be the quick two Ozzy must have done it. Just like last season, when it really wasn't her friend who did it, it was a daughter, which I always thought it was a daughter. Now you got me season one with the black dude, okay? Because I didn't really think that black guy had killed whoever it was. Was it a girlfriend or somebody he was supposed to have killed? Whatever. I didn't think it was really him, but in the end it was. I, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was him, right? But her body is found near a cabin that he owns in the Los Angeles forest with bullets that match a gun he owned. Now, to me, this is very circumstantial evidence. Okay. The biggest thing that they probably have on him right now are the scratches. Everything else is circumstantial. Yes, he owns the cabin. Who has access to the cabin? Who else has access to the gun? It's very circumstantial. Okay, I'm gonna need some harder evidence to say murderer. Okay, to say I did it. Okay, I'm not getting that. It's very circumstantial. Okay, but who is Alex? Okay, I want to know who Alex is, and I'm tired of seeing Cash Doll. Yeah, I'm tired of seeing her. Her acting ain't that good. You still want me to believe that she was Wendy's friend? I just don't think I don't it's not believable to me that she is Wendy's friend. Okay. It does not make sense. All right. Now, one thing, I wish we could have seen the crime scene. Okay, that's just a little, psychotic person in me, maybe. Maybe it's just like the therapist who loves criminal TV shows. Was it not in the budget to go out there to the forest and kind of have like a little scene out there? No, detectives out there with the yellow tape. I don't know. That's just my dark mind. I would have enjoyed that a little bit. Okay. Okay. Maybe with the money y'all not using for the daughter, y'all could. The son already gone. Okay. But maybe that's just wishful thinking. Let me know if y'all feel the same way. Okay. Now, Bill is billing. Tommy Egan is out for self. He ain't really there. He ain't it ain't no team. It's Team Bill. Team Tommy. Okay. Team Tommy. His little crazy self is like I said, willing to do whatever. Ratting out Jax, saying that she was the reason that they initially lost Ozzy. He is out for self. I wouldn't even be surprised if that picture he showed. I guess it was a picture. Was it a picture? Was he in the picture that he showed on the phone? Because I would not be surprised if that picture was fake. That he really ain't got no family. Now I need to go back and rewind to see if he was actually in the photo or if it was just a photo of a black woman and some kids. So I got my eye on you. Okay, you might be playing Bill in this show, but Tommy Egan is all up in that thing, okay? But he is out for self and he is willing to become partner at the expense of um, throwing Jax under the bus. All right. Now in the end, we see the prolific scene. We see the juxtaposition of hearing Nipsey Hussle's prolific and how Ozzy is prolific. Ozzy, the character, Ozzy, the brand, he's being arrested. We see Jax getting dressed, brushing her teeth. We see we see Ozzy getting his mouth swabbed for DNA, going through the criminal system. So it's interesting to see both these scenes side by side in this soundtrack in the back. Okay, because I think they're both very prolific in different ways. And you see with Ozzy that he's about to go through the criminal system, but people still want his autograph. Now that's prolific right there. All right. Soundtrack game eats. Soundtrack it eats, y'all. Y'all know how to match these songs with the scenes. Okay. Y'all doing it. But Lewis comes back. He's like he was gone forever. And I feel like in that moment, once again, it became about Jax. So what happened? She signed the papers or what? He's like, it wasn't really about, her wanting to sleep with me. It was about her grieving and he's being vulnerable. He's talking about some things, but she signed the paper. Well, damn, I thought you wasn't never gonna get to it. Learn to hold space for your mans. Jackson, her need for control, Tony and her need for control are both to me reactionary parts of trauma. The trauma of her man having an affair, Tony, the trauma of losing a child, and this person you want a life with. Both these women, Tony and Jax, are grasping for control in different ways. And I feel like they both also emotionally kind of lash out. But I think at times, I feel like Tony actually sees Lewis. And I don't feel like Jax really sees him at times. In that moment where she said, well, damn, I thought he was never going to get to it. I was like, oh, you don't care that he lost a baby. There's no emotional connection because all you see is the affair where your husband lost a child, a part of himself. And once again, I don't think he's ever going to be able to heal from that because there's no space for grief. There's no space for healing. Your wife is like, wrap this shit up, buddy. She signed the paperwork. Wrap it up. We're moving on. No. That is going to be detrimental to y'all relationship. Okay? But I just think that Tony and Lewis, unbreakable bond. Okay, it's an unbreakable bond. I hope that we can see, I think Jax become more emotionally attuned, see her husband, just be more emotionally connected. But I think because of her work, her career, I don't know if there's space for that. And I think the people around her suffer because there's no space for that. Okay. Now at the very, very end, they get a knock on the door. I thought it was gonna be Tony. Okay, I'm like, okay, what's she want now? But it was Jax's father showing up at the door. Just when Jax thinks that she's past one thing, it's like, oh, we over the baby mama shit. Now we can kind of get back to our lives. Knock, knock. Just like last season. Knock, knock. You been served, bitch. You been served. But I wonder how the daddy's gonna play into things. We haven't seen her mother this season thus far. I could tell y'all had to shrink that budget. Y'all did. Okay, because I don't think we're gonna see some people from these previous seasons. We saw her girlfriend on the phone with her who beat her case for a quick second. But I want TV shows to know that you don't have to start adding in all these celebrities, these influencers. We don't need that shit. At least let me know if I'm wrong. I don't need that. Y'all can keep it to the core story, the core cast, and evolve and continue to thrive without adding all these people. So far, Cash, y'all not giving me nothing. Bruce Willis's daughter, okay, she played Wendy. Okay. I don't think we seen any other celebrities pop up thus far. I don't really think so. But I don't need all that. I feel like at times when shows start to add all these like people, it waters things down. The budget. Okay. And I love this show. I really do. Y'all are starting off very good for a third season. It's so hard for Black shows to be picked up, continued, poured into. I just don't want to see you guys go down the road of adding unnecessary people that just distract us from what we love about this show. We don't need all this extra stuff. Okay. But this episode two, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about the season thus far? Do you think Ozzy really did it? Now, where else have I seen Ozzy from? Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what else was he in? Because I feel like, was he in some kind of like Temptations type thing? Let me know in the comments where else he been at, okay? But of course, let me know your thoughts. Hit that like, subscribe, show me some birthday love, okay? And we're gonna be recapping all season, and I will see you guys, of course. Check you out in the next video. All right. Bye.